Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Whiskey Wednesday Show with your hosts Ken Tizzard and Music for Goats. Brought to you in full color and stereo sound with amplification provided by Trainer. Broadcasting into the world from Storyhouse Studios in Campbellford, Ontario, you'll hear the best in old country, folk, Americana, punk rock, and 80s music delivered into your homes every week for free. And don't forget your regular dose of new and original songs from Music for Goats. Never be alone on a Wednesday night again, 8 p.m. Eastern and 9:30 for those of you in Newfoundland. Join the Whiskey Wednesday regulars on Facebook to be a part of the conversation, or watch on YouTube as well. Pour a drink, a cup of tea, or a nice cold long tooth. Roll up your best smoke and sit back and relax. Don't forget to hit the share button to help spread the word. The Whiskey Wednesday Show, every week. Cheers. There we go, just like that, ladies and gentlemen. It is Wednesday once again. I have had 6 days and 22 and a half or so hours to get my guitar in tune.
It never works.
It never works.
It changes in 5 minutes.
Never works. How you doing tonight, Neil?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. It's just me and you for a couple weeks.
It is.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's always fun.
I'm getting a weird sitaring sound out of this guitar tonight. Any of you out there who play acoustics? You know the winter struggles that we endure through. I'm sitting back from the mic a little bit, Barry. Is that all good with you there?
Yeah.
Getting everything you need? How you doing, Barry?
I'm doing good.
You've had a rough couple of weeks of being in pain, eh?
Yeah, I got some knee problems and, some other joint problems.
Right. Well,
Not the
I don't know
joints
what to
that
tell
I
you.
like either.
What's that?
Not the joints that I like either.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you on that. Although I did just smoke a joint, which is nice. It is 2025. Welcome to the Whiskey Wednesday Show. Me and Neil are here tonight. We're here next week. And then the following week, I'm on my own, I believe. It's a weird month. Mr. Grant has gone down to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
How incredible is that?
Al.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing. Mr. Grant is getting to do that. That's incredible. Al has been going down there for a bunch of years now, as has our good friend Toby.
Yep.
I believe Toby is there now, is she
Yeah,
not?
she left yesterday and is there at her little gorgeous.
She's got a nice spot down there, yeah.
Spot. And G flew today with his daughter, Em. So.
That's right, yeah, Em flew from Vancouver and met him in Toronto.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
It is.
Joe, Tony, Ron, Richard, Derek, Debbie, Mike, hey GT, how you doing, man? Haven't seen you in a while. GT, how's the new pub? I am happy that they're open. The name sounds a little groovy. Was it Club 36 or something? Sort of feels like there might be a disco ball in there.
I didn't know they'd open it.
They open on Sunday.
Oh, son of a-
So, life returns to normal. There's a song about Newfoundland, about the harbor, the chain link fence. The city harbor lies behind the chain link fence. You can see it from a distance. You can even feel the wind, but you can't walk out on that dock and stand beside the sea-torn freighters. Sense those stories of the lives that live within. You can't have it the way it was, have to take it as it is. Those times have changed, those days are gone. Those days are past but not forgot. You can't stop the winds of change, forever in your mind self-same. Lord, don't be sad. We were blessed for what we had. Those days are gone, the memories cast in stone, and I know I'm not alone, and it chills me to the bone in this place called home. You can't lose what you don't own. The deepest ties you'll ever know, right here at home. Down Water Street, the storefronts changed. A few blocks north, who'd ever blame?
fight against the sudden change and waiting game. How many words can twist and burn like spark to hay? No further down this certain old time road we'll stray. Have to take it as it is. Those times have changed, those days are gone. Those days will pass but not forgot. You can't stop the winds of change, forever in your mind self-same. Oh, don't be sad, we were blessed for what we had. Those days are gone, the memories cast in stone, and I know I'm not alone, and it chills me to the bone in this place called home. You can't lose what you don't own. The deepest ties you'll ever know hurt so bad to let you go. And I thought that I just came to say hello to this place called home. The city harbor lies behind the chain link fence. You can see it from a distance. You can even feel the wind. For y'all. Oh, where's Tony? Yeah, where's Tony? We're looking at the message board here. And Ron. We haven't seen Ron. Where is Ron? What's Ron doing nowadays? It is the Whiskey Wednesday show. Tonight we are celebrating skateboarding once again, as we've done many times. Last year we had Yo-Yo on the show, and that was a great introduction to the history of freestyle and all that stuff. And Home takes me to the house show every time. Yeah, I'm just missing the St. Bernard. I know, that was funny, Dave, when I did that show. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. And Robert Bryan's Heinzie. Luke was coming tonight. He ended up being in Toronto working at Heinel's. So we're rescheduling Luke. We just found that out yesterday. That bit of sickness that I had, like, it feels like almost 2 weeks ago. I kind of felt like, oh, I'm not feeling great. And then there was a couple days of like mild fever and just staying in bed. And then I felt okay. And then this weird cough came in, and good Lord.
I found that with it. Like I had it for 5 or 6 days, and then at some point the symptoms changed on me.
Yeah.
It seemed, and up until today, I'd have to say I've been having like my sinuses are still quite full.
Yeah.
But
So I haven't had much in the way of sinuses. It's just all this chest. It feels like my lungs are full of cheese. I'm sure that's an appealing thought.
It certainly is. Yes, indeed. Just put me off one of my favorites.
I know, sorry. And I keep coughing and there's no cheese. Like, no cheese will come up. It's like you can feel it there wriggling around. It's like, get the fuck out.
It's kind of like more like curd, actually.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, I'll get through. I'll just keep coughing on you, Neil.
Perfect.
What key were we doing this in?
That would be
Same
C,
as...
I
we're
think.
doing it in C, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So tonight's show, we're dedicating... skateboarding issue. Our special guest tonight is Tony Gale, who is a world champion freestyler and a real groovy guy. I've been working with a few skateboarders to get them on the show, and the one that I thought was going to be on the show this week, he was trying his schedule, never quite worked out, and I had Tony on the list, and I was talking with Yo-Yo, and Yo-Yo said, reach out to Tony Gale, and I did. And cool guy. He got back to me right away, and we did an interview, and he's on the show. This is going to be an abridged interview. It's about, it's a regular sort of Whiskey Wednesday thing. But we talked for about 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 20 minutes. He got deep into some really interesting skateboarding stuff for any skateboarding nerds watching. So the full thing will be out on YouTube tomorrow. But tonight we'll watch some of the more entertaining and parts that might actually mean something to the non-skateboarders. Musically, sort of sending musical vibes from over England way. That's where Tony is from. So I figured a little Cure would probably be a good choice.
Oh, seeing as how we've both been ill and Barry is ailing, that's doubly a good choice. We can
A
all use
little
a cure.
Cure would be fantastic.
I would say I'm sorry if I thought that it would change your mind, but I know it's too late. I've said too much, been too unkind. I tried to laugh about it, cover it all up with lies. I tried to laugh about it, hiding the tears in my eyes, 'cause boys don't cry.
Sorry about that.
Boys don't cry. I would break down at your feet and beg forgiveness, plead with you. Now I know it's too late and there's nothing I can do. I tried to laugh about it, cover it all up with lies. I tried to laugh about it, hiding the tears in my eyes, 'cause boys don't cry. Boys don't cry. I would tell you that I loved you, beg forgiveness, plead with you, but I know it's too late. Now there's nothing I can do. I took you for granted, I pushed you too far. I took you for granted, I thought you needed me more. Now I would do most anything to get you back by my side, but I just keep on laughing, hiding the tears in my eyes, 'cause boys don't cry. Boys don't cry. Boys don't cry. Boys don't cry.
Little Cure, new Cure album's fantastic, by the way, if anybody's curious about it. It's called Brave New World, New World. Maybe it's not called anything like that. I can't remember what it's called. Songs for a New World? Jesus Christ, I'm bad. Anyways, hey Ron, there you are. And Rayanne's in here too. Oh, excellent. Good to see you, Rayanne. Nice to see some people showing up. Jeff Seymour. Oh man, got broken bones. That would be nice. How are you doing, Jeff Seymour? Any broken bones currently? I see you. I see you posting about not being able to sleep and stuff quite often, Jeff. I feel for you, man. That sucks. Not being able to sleep. Chronic pain. Oh man. Well, I hope you're having a good night tonight. Sitting at home by the ocean there, and we'll play a song for after the Tony Gale part. Right now, we're going to do the first one, "Songs of a Lost World." That's what it's called. Thank you, Justin. After the Tony Gale interview, we're going to play some Billy Bragg, and we'll play that for you tonight, Jeffy. A little New England for you. Before we get to that, ladies and gentlemen, here is the Just Concussed, No Broken Bones. Okay. Oh Jesus, Jeff. Oh my. Here's little Tony Gale, ladies and gentlemen. But I often like to sort of do a little bit of research to try and kind of put into perspective who I'm talking to. And I started that with you, and it just turned into pages and pages and pages of notes. Everything from everything from where you came from to how you got into skateboarding, how you got out of skateboarding, all of the championships you've won from, I believe you won the first place pro at the UK Roundup in 2017, was it?
Yeah, I won a few of those. Yeah.
There's a bunch of them. You got first places,
Mm,
you got first seconds, you got second at Paderborn in 2015. Anyways, there's so many things there. And then as you go further, you realize that you're running a skateboard company that's helping keep freestyle skateboarding alive in the UK.
mhm.
And then you're working with Seismic Wheels, which, by the way, I got up here on your recommendation, and they are, no offense to Witter and all the wheels that I like that he makes down at Decomposed, but the Seismics are blowing me away. Anyways,
Yeah.
so I'm really lucky to have you here today. And let's just start by talking to some of the audience. This isn't a skateboard audience that we're talking to. It's a I don't even know what it is. I don't know who my audience is. They're just people who like to tune in every week. Um,
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Whiskey Wednesday show once again with Ken Tizzard, your host. We've got a very special guest today. As you all know, in the last year, I have rediscovered my passion for skateboarding, and I've been trying to find my way back into what fits my 55-year-old life as a skateboarder. And it's been a really interesting journey. Last year, we started out with Yo-Yo Schultz, who was a old school freestyle skater and one of my idols, and we had a great chat with him, and that led me into a whole bunch of things over the last year, which recently ended off with a message from Yo-Yo to me saying, hey, I think Tony Gale would be a great guest for your show. And I reached out to Tony just this week, and as we were planning this sort of skateboarding thing, I've had a few other skaters sort of shuffling around. We did the MLM thing. Tony's been on my radar for a while, and I'm really lucky. He, out of the blue, he got back to me. He said, absolutely, I heard you play a Weaker Than song, and I thought this is great. So I'm in, and he set up the time, and he's here with us today.
I, for context, I mean, I'm English. The accent gives it away. I grew up in a working class former mining village. There was like nothing. There was no one, right? And it was Christmas '99, and my sister, who now, I mean, she was living in New York at the time. She now lives upstate somewhere. She was coming home, and she said to me on the phone, like, "Hey, Tony, like, what do you want for Christmas?" And out of nowhere, I was 11 years old, and I just said, "I want a skateboard." I didn't really know why. I was just this useless, like, I was no good at anything athletic. I was skinny. I had an undiagnosed autoimmune disorder at the time, and like I was just in a I was clumsy. I would trip over anything. My mum was furious. Like my mum was ready to murder her. And yeah, like I just wanted to do it. I wanted to prove I could do it. It was never about, I guess in hindsight, like the Tony Hawk hype machine was just kicking off. He'd kind of landed the 900 that year, I believe. Um, But like, in the middle of Derbyshire, like we didn't know any of that. We were so far behind. Like I'd only just found out that Nirvana was a thing, and Kurt was already long dead, right? So I always joke that like that village is like 10, 20 years behind the rest of the country even.
I'm becoming acutely aware of the different stages of life of a skateboarder. Has that changed with you at all? Do you find an age change with your skateboarding or a maturity?
Yeah. Yeah, I think maturity more than age. I Yo-Yo Schultz, who you interviewed previously, he said in a conversation somewhere online, it takes at least 20 years to really start to understand freestyle. And that really angered a lot of people because, you don't like the idea. It's really unpopular that like, oh, I love this thing and I do this thing and I know all about this thing. I know all the tricks. Like, but you don't really understand it. You can know something and not really understand it. So what I found in myself, and I see it in a lot of other freestylers, regardless of age, um, your first, 5, 10 years is like, oh, look at the trick, look at the trick, look at the trick, look at the trick. I did a trick, and it's, oh, I did a rail trick, I did a rail flip, I did a Casper, I did a pogo, like, ah. And there's a lot of I wish I could remember the philosopher. I want to say it's Roland Barthes, but it's the spectacle of the new,
Mm.
right? And it's kind of like the Emperor's New Clothes sort of thing. Like you're constantly looking for this new and exciting thing. Oh yeah, it's so new and it's exciting, it's brilliant. And the problem is that when you're constantly chasing that, it's hollow, right? There's nothing beneath that. And eventually that excitement about the new thing, it's the same with, commercialism. Like you go out, you've got to have the newest phone, you've got to have the newest camera, you've got to have the newest whatever. Like you're always looking for the newest thing. And if there's no substance underneath that, if there's no real passion and love and like grace underneath that, then when that spectacle of the new fades away, you're just what's there? So, I grew up really admiring the guys who rolled, the guys who went fast, the guys who did the big stuff, like Daryl Grogan doing double M80s and um Japan is a really unique case. So freestyle has come back not out of the blue, not purely by chance, but like it has been a fight. Hard fight. Like really a lot of work has gone into this. And there's been a lot of having to reinvent the wheel. Like talking about Britain in particular, we had historically, kind of being a bit reductive here, but we really had like three significant British pros in freestyle.
Okay.
In the 80s. We had Mac, who is Scottish and absolutely, to put it bluntly, batshit crazy. I love the man. Love him to bits. Like, he's great. We had Shane Rouse, who is very much the seasoned professional, former world champion, took everything very seriously, and berates me on a regular basis whenever we skate together. Again, I love the man. And then there's Don Brown, who, out of the three, was the only one that went, England's a bit shit, and went to America instead. And as a result, like he had arguably a much better career because being in England in the 80s, like no one was paying attention to you. But what that meant when freestyle disappeared in the 90s, none of those guys were around. So my generation comes up, end of the 90s, start of the 2000s, and we were working blind. We had no idea what we were doing. We were basically having to reverse engineer stuff. We're looking through archives. We're looking at, old photo sequences in old Thrasher magazines. We're looking at like old PAL videos and things like that. And, like, how does this work? That's hard. And it's not just Britain that was doing that. Like Marius Constantin in Romania, like he started skating in the mid 2000s and there was nothing in Romania. Like he built that scene up like blood and toil. Blood, sweat and toil. Like he put a lot of work in. Japan is the exception because all the way through the 90s, a lot of the skaters there, especially the Fugees, Masahiro and Toshiaki, like they kept going. So you get to the early 2000s when I get involved in freestyle. Like I found out what freestyle was in 2001 and was like immediately like, yeah, doing it. And like I say, we're all scrambling around just trying to figure out how the bloody hell kickflips work. And the Fugees, they still got their scene. And they were putting out these incredible videos called Marvelous, Marvelous 1 and 2. Highly recommend if you get a chance to watch them. Still incredible skateboarding, like to this day. So then as scenes around the world start to coalesce, and networking happens and events start happening, new generation, new blood start coming in, the Fugees are there to teach them.
Right.
So then you get the Izumu Yamamotos, you get the Akina Gaos, you get these Kawasaki's, you get Yuta Fuji, Masahiro's son. Like these kids didn't have to go through the crap that we did. They just get Masahiro going like, do it like this, and they go, oh yeah.
Boom, feedback, reintro. Just a way to wake you all up again. Just a way to wake you all up there once again. It was so great talking to Tony. What a treat. Real interesting cat. Very passionate about what he does. Incredibly passionate and incredibly skilled. Going through some of his videos and stuff. He sent me that clip that was in the intro there, and it's just sort of, yeah, it just sort of encapsulates him. He's just such a great. Now, and when it says world champion, we touched on it at the end. There's a new ranking system out now for the first time. They've got an actual ranking system, but the world champion banner changes many times because there are world championships in different parts of the world every year. So you know you can win the world roundup in one place, and then we'll sort of a world champion in another part of the world. But there's, you know, who's the world champion?
There's 2 or 3
really
world
sort of,
champions at once, kind of thing.
well, and these things stagger all the time. Right. And then there's, you know, there's amateur, there's pro, and there's pro-am, and then there's another one as well. So, I mean, he has won first place in the world events. Mm-hmm. Does that make him the world champion? It makes him a world champion. Gotcha. So I just wanted to kind of mention that too. But what a great guy to talk to. We got part 2 of the video coming up in just a minute. Play this one for Jeff Seymour.
I was 21 years when I wrote this song. I'm 22 now, but it won't be for long. People ask me, when will you grow up to be a man? But all the girls I love at school are already pushing prams. I loved you now as I loved you still. Oh, they put you on a pedestal, they put you on the pill. I can't feel bad about letting you go. I just feel bad about letting you know. I don't want to change the world. I'm not looking for New England. I'm just looking for another girl. I don't want to change the world. I'm not looking for New England. I'm not looking for another girl. I love the words you wrote to me, but that was bloody yesterday. I can't get by on what you said every time you need a break. I saw 2 shooting stars last night. I wished on them, but they're only satellites. It's wrong to wish on space hardware. I wish you'd care. I don't want to change the world. I'm not looking for New England. I'm just looking for another girl. I don't want to change the world. I'm not looking for New England. I'm just looking for another girl. I'm looking for another girl. I'm looking for another girl. I'm looking for another girl.
Hello, New England for Jeffy Seymour back home. Hey, Neil Cameron, how you doing, brother? Man, I missed you before Christmas. We postponed that Watchmen show, as most of you know, moved it into June. But, Neil, it looks like we'll be seeing you in... actually, I don't know if you're aware yet, but we might be seeing you in April, I think. If memory serves to correct, but memory might not be serving correct. So.
Hello, Neil. Happy New Year.
Neil says hi.
Hi to Wendy.
Skateboarding episode. Oh, yeah. So I launched the start of the Back on Board series, which is my garage exercises. And Barry, can you kill the monitor for just turn it down a little bit there? It's just kind of feeding back in the background. And it's just driving me a little bit nuts. Yeah, so over the winter, I launched the Back on Board series, 44 episodes of me hanging out in my garage doing exercises on a skateboard, using a skateboard. I'll show you what it's all about in just a second, a little snippet of it. I deconstruct skateboard tricks, like the stuff that you see Tony Gale doing. I deconstruct a part of it, and I use it as a repetitive exercise in a safe manner, just build my muscles up and keep my muscles working over the winter while I can't go outside and skate. And I made it into a series because it seems like there's a lot of people interested in what's going on and doing the same thing. So as part of giving back to the community, I've been sharing it. And we're going to give you a little sample of it right here, right now. There's just a little bit of back on board. I believe we got a little segment here, Barry. Okay. A minute or so of work. On the board, which is cool, you know, get into some dancing, a little bit of footwork back and forth. Again, this is an excellent thing. Again, it might be a little too advanced at first. Give it some time, but when you start getting used to this, yeah, start moving your feet over. Because then you get into all kinds of weird, you know, people start getting into the leg cross stuff, and sort of flips from this position, all kinds of weird stuff. I'm not there yet. But what I do a lot of time doing this. I find it really good for my balance. You know, standing up straight with it, I'm kind of leaning forward because I'm talking to the camera a bit and stuff, but standing up nice and straight, balance your legs. Once you start getting good at it, hold your center of balance. You do that without these. As you can see right now, my calves are shaking. This is just a great exercise. Now, I'd like to extend this exercise, but as my calves get more and more tired, I start to lose my balance more. I don't have the muscles down there working as efficiently as they were 30 seconds ago. But I want to keep them engaged. This is where the rings will help. Even just a finger, one ring, all of a sudden the shaking goes away. It's just a little tiny correction that you have to do every now and again to stop that, and that you just kind of feel into it. And before you know it, you don't realize that you're standing on the wheels sideways on a skateboard. And before you know it, you just start feeling really comfortable. And that's what you want to get out of this. And that's kind of what it's all about. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's like 2 minutes of an 8-minute video. Barry, if we can get that monitor turned down there, I'm not sure why that's doing that now. Maybe,
I actually got it off.
What's that? There's 2 monitors on, 5 and 6. There you go. Now they're both gone. That's perfect for me. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of Red Prairie Dawn into this town of mine. Is that what's next?
Yeah, looks like it.
Fuck, wow. This should be interesting. You ready?
Well, I am, but I don't have any...
No, you won't.
Oh, of course
No,
not.
that's okay. So we're just going to be acoustic.
That's all right. Yeah, that's all right. I'm a slow learner.
1, 2, 3, 4. This town of mine, this town of mine, I find myself so easily reclining here in this town of mine. I came here from the city trying to find some peace of mind, to get myself on track and to buy myself some time. This town is growing on me. Here's a song for all to hear. All these faces look familiar, but your names are so unclear. In this town
this town of mine. I find myself so easily reclined here in this town of mine. At times this town seems distant. At times you all seem so strange. All these places remind me of places that I've been. So deep the roots are growing through my kids and to my friends. All I think about is being here. It takes away the pain in this town of mine. In this town of mine, I find myself so easily reclined here in this town of mine. At times this town's a mistress. She gives me all I need and more. Someday I'll say goodbye to her and walk right out the door. In this town of mine.
Caught you off guard there, didn't I?
In this town of mine, I find myself so easily reclined here in this town of mine.
Oh, it's actually nicer without the monitors when it's just the two of us. Two guitars sound great in here. Yeah, I prefer that to the monitor. That's a nice thing. We're still live. That's right, yes. I was just having a conversation with my friend here. We're just hanging out playing guitar on a Wednesday night.
That's just kind of nice for a change. You didn't hear me say that, did you?
No, of course not. But yeah, no, it is great. It's great. Mr. Grant's having a great time. Dave's got some time off. It is the winter months, so that's good. That's good. Kevin, Bill, how are you doing? Betty George, hi to all. That's my Aunt Betty there, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Betty, love you. Hope you're doing well. I'm sure you are. We're going to blast through part 2 of Tony Grail right now, and they're going to be back with some Weakerthans and some John Lennon and some Bob Dylan, and we're going to talk about a bunch of other shit. Here's part 2 of Tony Gale, ladies and gentlemen.
Carmen Yanitsa out in Romania. She's an incredible skater, like one of my favorite skaters in the world. And I think she's still 15. I forget whether she's turned 16 yet. She's world champion at that age in the women's division. So I'm like, look, I want to support this kid. We gave her a pro model, and I surprised her with it. And it's like, look, our position as skaters, pros, to me, if you're a pro skater, you should be lifting people up. Yes. It's not about just like presenting yourself. No, a pro is the thing that holds the whole scene together. We build it up, and that rising tide should lift all boats, right?
Hmm. Exactly.
I'm going to end up missing someone out, but you mentioned MLM earlier. Obviously, Moonshine. There's Cyrus in Hungary. There's Never Enough in Germany. There's Waltz, Decomposed, Mode, in the US. There's Proto Style in Malaysia. There's M80 in Japan. Like, there's definitely some that I've forgotten, and I apologize if I have. Like yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mean it. I'm not slighting anyone by saying it. It's just, yeah, there are more now. There's a lot more.
Yeah.
But I think one of the most important things, though, is that all of these companies that I've named, they are freestyler owned and operated.
Yep.
We Freestyle is the single most punk rock part of skateboarding,
Mm.
where you look at companies like Independent or Santa Cruz or these things that have been around for a long time. They're owned by big corporations. They're owned by big money investors, and
Mm.
they are presenting this idea of teenage rebellion as a pre-packaged thing that they can sell. It's a consumer product,
Of
right?
course.
And it's very, very carefully manipulated to be like, yeah, look at you, you're so cool, you're so aggro with your, whatever. Like, no, you're not. It's just it's a plastic punk, right?
Yeah.
It's the I love the Sex Pistols, but it's closer to what Malcolm McLaren did with the Sex Pistols than it is, Black Flag. I view freestyle right now kind of like the East Coast punk scene of the 80s, the Discord records, the, Fugazi, that sort of scene. Like, we own this, we control it, we distribute it, and there's a beauty in that. There's a power in that. I'm very proud of the fact that we've managed to do that. You look at what that's achieved as well. Christian Heiser, who runs Never Enough Skateboards out in Germany,
Learning.
he starts doing these competitions, Euro Freestyle. I think the first one was 2019, maybe, and that grew and that grew and that grew. And last year, World Freestyle is perhaps the first freestyle contest in all of history to have more than 100 competitors.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's huge.
You look at the best punk rockers and the best punk rock labels. I had Joey on the show recently from Joey Shithead from DOA, and
Cool.
I'm pretty sure that he's still stuffing envelopes in the basement. He wouldn't admit it. But I'm pretty sure he's still stuffing envelopes in the basement. And you look at those guys. You mentioned Fugazi. You go back to the Minor Threat days. Sort of skateboarding, living in the house, and putting out their own tapes and mailing out their 45s. That was the grassroots way to do it, and everybody I've met in the freestyle world seems to be doing that. My first connection was with MLM, Justin Lloyd, here in Canada, and when I wanted to get back, decided I wanted a freestyle deck last winter, and reaching out to him, and I went down to meet him, and it's this kid living in a basement of his mom's house, with a little set of with a stack of boards and a bunch of tools and some trucks, and Witter from Decompose sets him up with some stuff, and he's the Canadian freestyle company. I mean, that's he's the only Canadian person making freestyle decks.
It's not that deck. That goddamn Mullen deck is the second worst freestyle board I've ever skated. I won't mention the first one. I don't want to start that fight again. But it is truly atrocious, and it really angers me, the amount of people who still idolize that man, considering how little help. Like, he is a multi-millionaire who ran one of the biggest skateboard companies in the world at that time, and he
Yeah.
at any point could have funded, helped, supported freestyle and freestylers. And I've had multiple people throughout the skateboard industry who've said to me, like, very respected, very big kind of influential people. They say, we really like what you're doing. We really like you as a person. We like you as a skateboarder. We like freestyle, but we don't want to support freestyle because we're worried we'll lose our core market. We're worried we'll lose street skateboarders because it goes against this prepackaged thing. Businessmen just don't get it because they don't care about the culture. They don't care about the overall ecosystem. They just care about board sales. That's it. So I rode every board I could get my hands on. Every single board. Like, big, small, anything I could find, I would try because I wanted to understand all of these nuances.
Hmm.
But like little things, like the way the angle of the kicktail, the radius of the kicktail, like how smooth that curve is, the position of that in relation to the trucks, all of these things, they all make a huge difference.
Hmm.
And as a result, like my Pro model when it came out was exactly what I needed for my tricks and my trick set. So we've got no concave in the middle because the
Hmm.
concave, um, as an aside, I play banjo a little bit. I'm not particularly great, but I do play banjo.
Yeah.
And I once heard a banjo player say like, "Oh yeah, frets on the banjo are like speed bumps. They just get in the way." That's the way I feel about concave. Like concave exists to make a board rigid and to hold it to your feet in midair.
Hmm.
Neither of those are useful in freestyle, so we'll just get rid of it. Like it's and the number one thing that I find, like if you, the listener, or you can take one thing from this ramble, people are thinking about skateboards wrong. You know, the width, right?
Hmm.
Width is not determined by foot size, and width is not the most important thing. Width is determined by the tricks you want to do.
Hmm.
So if you want to do a lot of rail tricks, if you want to do a lot of flip tricks, choose a 725 or a 73, maybe a 74. Any wider than that, you're very much ruining your rail stability.
Hmm.
If you want to do things where the board wants to stay flatter, like shove-its and footwork, go to 7.6. Anything 8 inch above, that is purely designed to stay stable in the air. So that's the sort of stuff you take on vert ramps and street. That has no place in freestyle. It doesn't help. So what I tell people, especially kids, like, oh yeah, Tony, how'd you get sponsored? How'd you get sponsored? I'm like, don't. Just don't. Because A, if that's all you're looking for, you're not going to enjoy it.
Hmm.
And B, when you do get sponsored, there's work. Like there's work in being a professional skateboarder. It's a lot of time and time investment in, I refuse to do the whole bullshit social media marketing thing now. Like I'm over it. I'm not gonna.
Hmm.
I hate Instagram with a passion. I think the Zuck can frankly go fuck himself. Like
Yeah.
there's no easy way of saying that. Um, but being on the road, doing shows, doing coaching, like getting involved with competitions, running organizations, all of this stuff is a lot of work.
Hmm.
And, a lot of guys who've become pro and then gone on to do those things, we don't have a lot of time for skateboarding like we used to.
That's what I hear more and more. Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought, oh, I'll go self-employed. I'll start my own online skate shop. I'll have loads of time. I'll have all the time in the world to go skateboarding. Nah, very much the opposite. It's hard. So
Social
if you
media is a
enjoy,
huge suck.
yeah, all of that is terrible. So if you enjoy skateboarding, go skate. Don't try
Mhm.
and make a career out of it because you'll just ruin it for yourself. Just go
Exactly.
skate, have fun. That's the good stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, from somebody who has spent the last year getting back into it and kind of sussing out the community and the landscape, you have done a fantastic job of being an ambassador for freestyle skating. I mean, you even commented on one of my early videos back in August that I had posted somewhere on Facebook. I was just like, "Oh my
Mm.
God, Tony Gale just commented on my post." Like, well, that's so weird. Why is he? Why is he mentioning? What? It's just a strange thing for me. I was just like, "Wow, okay, well then." But it was to me, it was just a sign that you're like you are, you're pretty genuine in what you're doing. And talking to you today, it's an amazing eye opener to how much work it does take, a passion project like the love of skateboarding,
Yeah.
to become a life force where everything in your life is revolving around it. And I understand it. I do it with music, and this last year, skateboarding has become a big part of my life too. But it's really interesting
Mm.
to talk to the people that have fought the battles to keep it alive over the last 20 years.
Skate shops in the UK, I assume almost everywhere, they just sell the same stuff. It's the
Mhm.
same goddamn shit, and most of it's terrible quality and run by arseholes. And one thing that I've really liked is that through Offset, I've been able to say, like, hey, you're making a great product and you're a really good guy. I want to support that. And there's stuff that I've bought in purely for ideological reasons that I'm like, you know what? I want to back this. Bring it
Mhm.
in. I mentioned the Marvelous DVDs that the Fugees did. I paid an insane amount to import a whole bunch of them out of Japan. It made no financial or business sense whatsoever. But
Hmm.
I was like, I want that to be there. I want it to be available. I want people to have the opportunity to get this thing. Um, I think that's an important part of my work ethic with Offset, and I think it's one of the most pleasing, like just good, well-being parts of my existence right now. Just being able to say, like, yeah, you know what? You're doing this. Come on. Let me help promote that for you. Yeah.
Um, it's been great chatting with you, man. It's been nice catching up.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually not catching up, just getting to know you.
Yeah, it's been a really great conversation. Thanks for having me here, and thanks for letting me ramble about all this stuff.
That's awesome. Anything that you've got that you're promoting that you're coming up? I know your newest deck, the Lionheart, right? Is that the newest
Yeah.
one? And
Yep.
that's out on Moonshine now. It's a beautiful deck. Um,
Thanks. Yeah.
and again, if you're over in the UK, you can get it through your place. But in the States, I guess Moonshine has their own stuff direct.
moonshineskateboards.com, they'll do it. I will actually say, like I'm not a big fan of self-promotion, and I don't want to promote my own crap. If you like my board, if you like the idea of my board, Carmen's board is built on the same mold because she used to like mine. It just has like smoother curves. Go buy Carmen Yunitz's board. Her graphic is amazing, and she's a great skater. And I want to support her. Like I want her name out there. Never mind me. I'm old. Who cares? Go get Carmen stoked. Buy her board, and then like tag her in it on Instagram. I want, this little girl in a small town in Romania. I want her board all over the world because she deserves it more than anyone else.
Well, I'll make sure to put some images of that up too and some links for it as well. That's a
Thanks.
great thing for you to do, mate. Great thing for you to do.
Little secret though. So I mentioned the WFSA. We're releasing a global ranking system, the first of its kind that we've been working on for a while. So that goes live in less than an hour, I believe it's scheduled. So
That's actually really interesting because that's been a topic. I didn't bring it up because it's sort of serious nerd stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, there has been sort of no standardized method up to this point, right?
Yep, I know. So, I mean, one of the first major projects we did for the WFSA was trying to overhaul the judging system for competitions because that's a mess, and try and figure out best practices and new scoring systems. So that was like challenge A. And then I started working on this ranking system, this idea a long time back. So we've been finessing that, checking it with data. We've run 4 or 5 years worth of contest results through it now to try and make sure that it gives out a reliable and fair kind of end of year ranking based on consistency and performance in competitions and engagement and things like that. And I'm really happy with it. I know there's at least one part of it that's going to be quite controversial to people. I'm probably going to have to argue for. But I think overall, like I think it's a good thing, and hopefully it will help make everything more coherent and cohesive and encourage more engagement. That's really all I want to see. I want to see more events, more engagement, and make it all make sense.
Well, you're doing great work. I mean, everybody involved in the community seems to be doing great work, which is really nice. And you are at the forefront of it. So, thanks for taking the time to chat with a lowly Canadian here about his journey. And
I'll say to you what I said. First time I went to Canada, Kevin Harris gave me this microphone in front of a huge audience, and he's like, "It's your first time in Canada. What do you want to say?" And I'm like, "Thank you for being the better of our two children over here."
Well, yeah, I guess you're right on that. I hadn't even thought about that, but yeah, that makes total sense. Okay, buddy, I will. I'm just trying to look at my notes. I think that's everything. Okay,
Cool.
we're good. I will stay in touch with you for sure, and I'm gonna try and source down one of your boards now. Actually, I know I'm gonna grab the other board. The what was her name again?
The Carmen.
Yeah.
Carmen Yanitsa. Yeah.
Okay, I will check that out for sure.
It's
Thanks
a
again,
beautiful
man.
graphic. Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, man. Thank you.
Talk to
Thank you, Ken, for doing this. This has been great.
again sometime soon. Cheers.
I would like that. Catch you in a bit, mate.
Feedback. We're returning. There we go. That was fun. Check 1 2. Oh, the monitors, Barry. If we can get those off again.
They should be off.
Check. No, I'm hearing. There's 2 of them, right? Is this? I added the second one while you were gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's what happened. Barry goes on stress leave for a couple of weeks, and he comes back, and he's on the other side of the room. Everything is rewired. All the cameras are different. All the angles are different. The mix is different. It's just me and Neil. The lighting is different.
The only things that are the same.
It's like, hey Barry, just go with the flow, man. Just go with the flow.
We got you.
You're doing a great job, bud. What a treat it was to speak to Tony Gale. A super nice guy. And like I say, for those of you in the skateboard community who want the deep dive, I'll have that up soon as well. I just got to go through. There's a couple little technical bits I got to edit out. But I'll make that into the entire conversation so you can hear everything he's talking about, every curve and nuance and millimeter of his own deck when he was building it, and all of his advice. Really cool stuff. When Tony got back to me after I first reached out to him, he said I watched the Yo-Yo thing, and he said you had me as soon as you played the Weaker Thans tune. So I guess we played this on the Yo-Yo show. But Tony, you're a Weaker Thans fan, so me and Neil here will try and get this one out for you here tonight.
We'll give it a good shot. Slightly different acoustic version.
Exactly. Neil is what? I was gonna go somewhere, it never happened. I put the car in gear, but it didn't move. I hit the gas, my mouth open, and nothing came out.
Now that is a moment to take note of.
So we didn't really discuss an arrangement for this, so there we go. We're just gonna take it like this.
Now the lounge is full of farmers for the 7:30 draw. Teammates all left before they had to buy a round. When they pull the 50-50 and I lose again, I'll go. Maybe have one more round one for the snowy road. All the championship banners going yellow on the wall. Add my name when it gets closer to last call. So Elvira brings my bottle, hold it up and let it bend. Figures of two rinks battling an extra hand. And I'm peeling off my label as they peel the corner guard. Dance down the sheet to the tune of Hurry, Hurry Hard. And my popcorn squeaks a question, wonders why I'm not at home, where you wait beside a silent do those circles within circles all alone. Have to stop myself from climbing on a table full of empties to yell why. Right, can I draw right up to what I want to say? Why can't I ever stop where I want to stay? I slide right through our days. I'm always throwing hack weight. Never, ever, never, ever right off. No, never, 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 ever right off. No, never, 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 ever right off. No, never, 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 ever right off. No, never, ever, ever, ever right off. No, never, ever, never, ever right off. No, never, ever, ever, ever right off. No, never. And the senior Bonspiel winners circa 1963, staring, glaring, disapproving from the frame in that old photograph of me. And I know you're out there waiting for an answer I can't give, so tell me why. Why can't I draw right up to what I want to say? Why can't I ever stop where I want to stay? I roll right through our years, drift right through our days, slide right through our waves. I'm always throwing away. Never, ever, 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 right off. No, never, 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 ever, right off. No, never, 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 ever, right off. No, never, ever, ever, ever.
That's a nice one to play on the acoustic, Neil. Wow, that's sweet.
It sounded pretty good.
That's really cool. Yeah, Barry.
If I do say so
I think
myself.
so.
Hey
Barry
folks,
might
thanks
have
for
a
tuning
voice.
in to the Whiskey Wednesday
That's
show.
all good. That's
Every
all good.
Wednesday
Thank
we
you.
will be here, rain or shine, richer or poorer. Tip jar is in the link above. Never expected, but always appreciated. Never confuse the size of your paycheck with the size of your talent. I've got all the money I'll ever need if I die by midnight. Always appreciated, never expected. Please feel free to drop us a line regarding anything, including a link to your money. Cheers.
Oh yeah, new graphics too, eh, Mary?
Yeah.
Just doing a little tuning here as the acoustics settle a little more into the driest room of the house. Again, Tony Gale was our special guest tonight, so we're going to play another English song for you. You know, some weird sitaring. Tip time. Yeah, it probably is. See if I can make this happen without interrupting the song. Oh, Neil's already stopped playing. It's already interrupted.
Sorry.
That's okay. Keep playing, Neil. There we go. See. This is where they kick me out. Okay. A little slower.
As soon as you're born, they make you feel small by giving you no time instead of it all. Till you can't really function, you so feel nothing at all. A working class hero is something to be. Working class hero is something to be. They hurt you at home and they hate you at school. They hate you if you're clever and they despise a fool. Till you're so fucking crazy you can't follow their rules. A working class hero is something to be. A working class hero is something to be. When they've tortured and scared you for 20 odd years, and then they expect you to pick a career. but you can't really function, you're so full of fear. Working class hero is something to be. Working class hero is something to be. Keep your dope with religion, your sex and TV, 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 TV. You think you're so clever and classless and free, but you're still fucking peasants as far as I can see. Working class hero is something to be. Working class hero is something to be. There's a room at the top, they're telling you still. But first you must learn how to smile as you kill. If you want to be like the folks on the hill. Working class hero is something to be. Working class hero is something to be. If you want to be a hero, well, just follow me. Little working class hero for you. We're going to end with a classic Newfoundland tune for the Irish who think it's their song. It ain't. The funny thing about the monitors, Neil, is like when they're off, you don't know when you're muted.
Yeah, I just.
Was that just the last song or the last few songs?
No, it was just that one.
Okay, I just realized that. It's like, well, he's got his microphone there, but his mute is definitely on.
Next time, just tell me, will you?
Well, no, it wasn't until the end of the song I noticed it. It was kind of funny.
Okay. I was just having so much fun, I didn't bother with that.
Yeah, no, that was a fun one, actually. That was good. That was good. Oh, that sitar. There we go. Oh, stop it. So, yeah, we're going to close with a Ron tune tonight. And then we do have... I hate these temperamental times of year.
There.
I'm going to end with a little sunny stream for you all. There you go.
I know.
Neil's no
look at
longer
that.
muted.
How about that?
Hey, Diana. This one's for Diana out in Torbay. We've got Luke was supposed to be on the show tonight, but he didn't make it. But he was on the show last year, and we did The King Is Gone, and we have a video of it. So that's going to be the rewind tonight. It's been fun putting together a duo evening, changing the lighting a little bit, put some light under the table to light the floor and stuff, all kinds of interesting stuff that you guys at home can't see, and gals, of course. But yeah, that's making a nice little difference here in the studio. Nice to mix things up. Once again, thank you for being a part of the show, and thanks for doing everything you do during the week. Thank you to Tony Gale for being on the show.
Sonny lives on a farm in a wide open space. You can kick off your shoes, you can give up the race. You can lay down your head by a sweet riverbed, and Sonny always remembers what it was that Mama said. Come on there, Neil. Yeah. Sonny, don't go away. I am here these nights get so long, the silence goes on, and I'm feeling so tired, I'm not all that strong. Well, Sonny carries a load, though he's barely a man. There ain't all that to do, but he does what he can. And he watches the seas from a room by the stairs, and the waves keep on rolling, they've done that for years. Sonny, don't go away, I am here all alone. Your daddy's a sailor who never comes home, and these nights get so long, the silence goes on. I'm feeling so tired, I'm not all that strong. It's 100 miles to town, Sonny's never been there, and he goes to the highway and he stares and he stares. The mail comes at 4 and the mailman is old, and Sonny still dreams his dreams full of silver and gold. But Sonny's dreams can't be real, they're just stories he's read. Stars in his eyes, they're just dreams in his head. And he's hungry inside for the wide world outside. And I know I'll never hold him, I tried and I tried. Sonny, don't go away, I am here all alone. Your daddy's a sailor who never comes home. These nights get so long, and the silence goes on, and I'm feeling so tired, I'm not all that strong.
Sunny for y'all on a Wednesday night. The days are getting shorter, ladies and gentlemen. I've been noticing when I'm...
No, they're getting longer.
The days are getting shorter periods of darkness at the end of them, is what I was going to say.
Bullshit.
Well done. Yes, the sunlight is on the way. It will be, before we know it, it will be sunny again. Well,
that's something we can dream about.
That's something we can dream about anyways, yes. Next week we've got the annual, is this our 4th annual Dylan and Hines? I believe it might be, or our 5th even. No, it will be our 4th, maybe the 3rd. Allison knows, she made me put it on the sign. Well, she didn't make me, she helped me remember what to put on the sign, and that was one of the things. She directed, yes, exactly. Great to see everybody out. Thanks for dropping by. Good to see you all. Those of you tuning in for the week, not here live or watching on the podcast or listening, thank you very much. Yes, love? It's the 5th. This is the 5th annual Dylan and Hines. Yeah, that's right. Yes, 5. 5. This is season 5?
No, it's just something like, well,
it is season 5.
I mean,
that's right.
COVID hit in 2020,
fucking right.
Yeah.
Jesus. I just remember doing all those new intros and stuff. I had to put the word 5 in it. And the number 5 on all. I was wondering why Allison had me put so many 5s in there. That's what it was season 5. Okay, cool.
It's nothing to do with the pentagram.
No. Anyways, we've got Luke Mercier here with The King's Gone. Before we do that, remember, be nice. Where's the camera? Be like Steve. You're here somewhere. Be like Steve. Cheers.
1, 2, 3. seal on a Jim Beam decanter that looked like Elvis. Soak the label off a Flintstone jelly bean jar. I cleared us off a place on that one little table that you left me. Pulled me up a big old piece of floor. I pulled the head off his, Phil Fred up to his pants. Yabba dabba doo, the king is gone, and so are you. Round about 10 we all got to talking. About bed ride, Graceland and such. The conversation finally turned to women. They said they didn't get around that much. Then Elvis said fine and young. Fred said, well, old-fashioned girls are fun. Yabba dabba doo, the king is gone, and so are you. Later on it finally hit me. That you wouldn't be coming back no more. This time I know you wouldn't forget me. Like all of them other times before. Then I broke Elvis's nose, pulling the last drops from his toes. Yabba dabba doo, the king is gone, and so are you. Yabba dabba doo, gone, and so are you. Yabba dabba doo, the king is gone, and so are you. Nicely done, boys. Wow.
Once again, thanks for spending another Wednesday with us here at Storyhouse Studios. Thanks to Trainer, Yorkville, and a Longtooth Beverage Company for being a part of the show. We love our time on the Whiskey Wednesday show and appreciate all of your support. Don't forget to hit up the tip jar if you feel so inclined. Never expected, but always appreciated. Tune in every week for more guests, songs, stories, drinks, and gear talk. And don't forget to visit the website, www.kentizzard.com, to sign up for the Whiskey Wednesday wrap-up. Compiled by Allison, this is a monthly overview with highlights, directories of songs, and so much more. Be kind, be helpful, be happy, be safe. See you next week.
On a Jim Beam canner that